Hello and welcome to the Earnings Podcast. I'm Christine and I'll be your host. This is episode 85. It's April! Welcome to the show. I am so glad you're here with me today. I would like to welcome new and returning viewers. If this is your first time watching, I'm really grateful that you're giving this podcast a chance. I am a giggly, geeky girl and I love to share all that. So if any part of that resonates with you, you may enjoy this episode. Okay, my iPad that usually has my show notes is sitting here, but I made the mistake of clicking to update to the newest software, and it's been thinking for more than a half an hour now, so I am going ahead and recording with just the brief show notes on my other screen. So you'll see me looking up there instead of looking down here. So, life stories. I'm back in my craft room. It took a little extra time to get everything moved back into place after Game Storm, and I am back here. Although I have still been spending a lot of time on my couch in its normal location, the room next door, which has the exercise bike and the TV in it as well, because my pain level's been a little high, so I am dealing with that by sitting on the comfortable couch that gives my back support, and that is a good thing. What else? It's my birthday month. I like to celebrate my birthday longer term than just a single day. I have become to appreciate in past years that I am worth celebrating, and celebrating is fun. And does that mean that I make myself a cake every day? No, but having something fun to look forward to is good for me at any given date, whether it's near my birthday or not. So with that in mind, I am hashtagging Kay Celebrates 40. This is my 40th birthday year, and I started celebrating with the activities earlier last month that felt like ways I could celebrate with my friends that are near and far, mostly far. And so I had friends here for Game Storm. I went on the yarn crawl, and those things both happened in March. And so that was kind of starting my Kay Celebrates 40. I plan to continue that through at least Zombie and Apocalypse, because that will be a great place to celebrate with some of my very favorite people. So, let us go ahead and move into some yarnings and adventures in knitting. Right now in my hands is the Therapy Shawl by Laura Ayler. And it is getting quite big. And I am in the middle of a row right now, so I'm kind of tubed up here, but I'm that far into the solid lavender. So I've got the pink here is 45 degrees, which was a twisted colorway that Black Trillium dyed. The mesh and the stripes are another Crafty Girl Twinkle Sock in the Galactic colorway, which is inspired by Race for the Galaxy. And then the purple stripes are Sun Valley Fibers, her 80/20 nylon merino fingering sock yarn. And that is in the colorway Iris. So it is longer than my wingspan, and I am going to continue until I run out of the Iris. My skein is deflating, but I've still got some space to go. And this is excellent conversation knitting. I talk a lot about conversation knits on this podcast. We did a whole year-long knit-along last year that was related to that. And these are things that you can knit while you're doing something else, whether that's playing board games, watching TV, in a dark theater, what else? Anything that you can do some other thing while you're knitting, talking to a friend, being on a video chat. Those kind of things make knitting that doesn't require a lot of attention work really well. There's your little primer on what I consider knits that people might say autopilot, that kind of thing. But I like to think of them in terms of what I am doing in addition at the same time. So this is coming along very nicely, and it works wonderfully for that. So it has grown so much that it's a little hard to carry around. I mean, inside my dice bag from Kitchen Counter Crafter, I can do it. It was a little big for bringing with me to the library this week. My castle socks did get a little bit of work on them this week. So much so that I was not in a place that I wanted to add another hexagon yet, so I have a nice long extended portion of twisted rib in between there, so I'll probably add another hexagon soon. We are several inches above the heel now. They're just being worked on when I have time to work on them, and they did go along. Did they go with me? No, they didn't even go with me on my Tuesday out, but they went along with me on grocery shopping. So that is these are vanilla socks. The yarn is another Crafty Girl Strong Sock in the Countryside Castle colorway, which is based on Castles of Burgundy. And I played Castles of Burgundy this week and knit on them. So that was fun. The other work in progress that got the most love, possibly, I don't know, might be a toss-up between this and the therapy shawl. This is by Lady Violet, which is the Maris Cardi. As you can see the back, because the back has the nice big lace panel. The Maris Cardi by Elizabeth Doherty in Marigold Jen's sock yarn. I think it's 75-25 merino nylon, and it's lovely to knit with. In the colorway Lady Violet. That's why I'm calling it Lady Maris. Pattern is Maris. Yarn is Lady Violet. So I have added additional increases. So I have a little decrease up there, and then I added 3 tiers of increases and did them more frequently, because that is how I like to wear my sweaters. I did it in a nice gentle way that I think will really flow down nicely along my sides. I am 10 inches-ish down from the armhole to the bottom at the moment. I am nearly done with my first two skeins of yarn. I have 2 more left sitting there that need to be wound. I don't think I'll use all of this because I think I'm going to make it short sleeved. So maybe to my elbow, but not below it. I really like that length on my, oh man, my poison oak. No, sugar. Okay, back to the little tab over here that has my projects. There we go. Hand-spun American oak. That's what I called it. It was the poison oak. I did have that right. And the sleeves come about to there, because that's how much yarn I had. When I wear sweaters that come down mid-arm or all the way down, I tend to get this crease where my arm is, and it's not always so attractive in the knitwear. It would almost some of my sweaters get a little bit more pilling there. And so thinking this will be a really nice springy, summery, fall cardi, having it be short sleeve, and then I could wear a long sleeve shirt under it if I need to. I think that that's just going to be more my preference, and then I will get to wear it this summer. That means that I probably won't use all of the yarn, but that's okay. But I definitely did want to do sleeves of some sort because I wanted to try out the set-in sleeves in the pattern. So I'm going to wind up the new skeins and start in on the arms, because once I get the sleeve cap done, I'm going to alternate. So I'll do one sleeve cap, the second sleeve cap, and then I'll start doing them 2 at a time and alternating, so that then the colorways are a little better blended. You can see on the back how there's different levels of pooling depending on where I'm at, and I'm okay with that. I think it's going to be beautiful. I think this is going to be a fabulous sweater that I'm really going to enjoy wearing. This is the back, but it's just easier to show you. And yeah, I am almost down to the waistband of my yoga pants while I'm sitting here of this. So it is coming along nicely. And I probably am going to make it longer, just because that's how I like wearing my sweaters. So that's the Lady Violet. All right, that is all the knitting for today. I do have a, oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, I see. My iPad is now restarting, and so it popped up my photo screen. It wasn't me. But I did lose my train of thought. Oh yes, needle adjacent, I'm thinking about what hand spun I want to knit with yet next. I do have several things planned, I just want to pick which thing, so I will talk more about that in a future episode. For spinning a tail, I finished my blue jeans spinning, which was what I was calling Three Fates. It's a nice blue, tan, purple color, and I am making it a 2-ply, so it's nice and fine. I haven't washed, it's still on the plying spindle. This is what I use for plying. I could ply on my Turkish, but it gets awfully heavy at the end, so I use this big old chunky one. This was my first spindle as my plying spindle. So this is half, a little more than half of what I have of the yarn to ply. So I will wind this off on from here onto a niddy noddy, and then I will ply the other half and get it soaked and blacked, and show you guys some new yarn. So because I finished that, I decided I was ready to start my hobbledehoy. So I'm not bringing the whole thing in because I have it all laid out, but back a few months ago, Liz from Hobbledehoy had a pre-order for some Kaylee fiber. Kaylee's parasol, I think. And so this is one end of the batlings. They came all wound up like a little nest, and there were 6 or 8, depending on there. I have 2 bags of it, so each bag was 2 ounces, and I am spinning away. You can kind of see that the colors of the green and the colors of the pinks and blues pops are colors from Kaylee's Overalls. Kaylee wants to show you her cute overalls with the little teddy bear patch on her leg. She's got little blue patches, and then the color at the end is actually her parasol which, if you could see that side of my room where the studio lights are pointing from, there is an actual Kaylee's parasol. I am loving this. This is really fun. I have not spun a batling before, and I have not spun a bat even. And so this layered fun is different than anything I've done before. And I love Kaylee, so it seems like a really good April choice for me. My laptop's name is Kaylee. So that will be the next thing that is getting spun. I do have a stash enhancement. This was a prize winning from the Fiber and Dice podcast. I participated in the Sushi Quest knit along, yarn along, and knit a shawl. I knit the Trillion out of Fat Cat Knits, her sock yarn in the Sushi colorway, which was based after the Sushi Go game. And so Fat Cat Knits donated some prizes, and I won. This is her BFL combed top, which, again, this is going to be similar to what I'm spinning right now, but I already had planned on doing the Kaylee. This is 4 ounces of her colorway London Fog. Let's see how easy this is to pull out to show you. Oh, easy schmeezy. Yeah, you can see the colors way better outside of the packaging. Isn't that neato? I'm really excited. This is going to be so much fun to try and spin. So this is 4 ounces, and that will be a really nice color to spin up. Maybe a fall one, because there's nice browns and oranges and rusts in with the green, so that might be a really nice one to set aside for the fall. Planning my spinning. Or maybe I'll just spin everything I have by Tour de Fleece. Okay. That was spinning. For Stitch Through Time, I have not gotten my cross stitch back out. It's somewhere over there. And when I moved I see it now. When I moved my couch, it just got stuck over here, and then I haven't pulled it back out. But what I did do, the pile back up. This one in a good spot. Put you back in order, little guys. I cut out the strips for my quilt. So I'm making a quilt for the red couch in the next room. And I like Valentine stuff all year round, as you guys knew from my February episodes and my sweater I knit with hearts in it. And so I picked colors that would look nice with hearts. And these little purple ones have little birds and hearts. And that one has little hearts. And then we've got pretty pink, a nice purple, and the black says love, 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 love in pinks and reds and whites. This will be a log cabin quilt. So back when I was a teenager, I made log cabin quilts for my sisters. And so I'm using the exact same method. The book is not sitting right here, but I have a log cabin book. Quilt in a Day was what the thing was called. And you start with a bunch of strips. So these are 2.5 inch strips. Cut the whole length of the 45 inches of what's on the things in the store, and then you sew it together with another strip, and then you cut that into 2.5 inch segments, and then you rotate it and add the next thing. So to do that, you start with a pile of strips, and you cut as you complete each segment. So I think once I get going, this is going to go nice, and I'm really excited about it. It took me a little while to get it all cut up because I was anxious about my ruler sliding, and so I put a lot of pressure on the ruler, and then my hand started to bother me. So I need to be aware of that in the future for when I am cutting, to be careful about how my hand is placed, but still not let the ruler slide. My sewing machine is sitting right here, and perhaps I will start sewing up the first section. Once I get going, I think it's going to go very nicely. I've got the borders cut as well, which are these three, the black, the dark pink, and the white. And then this white will also be the backing, but I got normal width of fabric, so I need to engineer what the back is going to look like, because it can't, for twin size, it needs to be wider than a single cut of the fabric. So I think I'm going to do it like a big cross in the middle and do a 4-patch and do some of my leftover strips randomly positioned in the middle. It's a theory, but I haven't mapped it out yet. So that will be a next step. And then I also need to get batting. I don't have that yet, but I do have the backing, which is sitting right there. It's got stuff on top of it that I would dislodge. So that is Stitch Through Time. Let's go back to my right screen here. In community, we had a cow going on. This was the yarning a tale knit along, and it was where I wanted people to tell me stories about something that they had knit this year or something that they were currently knitting. And we had 5 really nice stories put up in the thread. I particularly enjoyed seeing the pictures and hearing the words that people had about the things that they made. We had socks, we had things for puppies, bandanas for puppies, shawls, multiple shawls, including a wedding shawl. And so earlier today I drew with randomnumber.org, and I'm going to be giving away 2 knitting patterns up to $7 in price. So the winners are Lemon Girly, who made a beautiful half circle shawl called the Textured Shawl, with some yarn that she repurposed and tried multiple times to knit with. And that was a really cool story. I liked hearing that, and it turned out beautiful. And the second winner is Karen Balky. And she knit a Martina Bain shawl. Her and I both love our Martina Bain shawls. This was the match and move, and she had several tries where she knit almost the whole thing and then decided it needed to be different. So she did a great job recovering from that and restarting and re-knitting. So, Lemon Girly and Karen, please PM me with what pattern you would like, up to $7, and I will get that gifted to you. Thank you, everybody, for playing along. I really did enjoy reading your stories. I hope that hearing the stories about my things is inspiring to everybody, whether you entered the contest or not, and that it helps you think of expanded ways to think about the things that you are knitting on. And Siri thought I was talking to her. I wasn't. You'd think Do Not Disturb would remind her that that is not possible. So, let's move on to the non-knitting segments and Sagas of Geekery. For Now Playing, I opened up my little board game stats, BG stats, app, and I record all of my gameplays in here. So since I talked to you guys last, I have played Race for the Galaxy. I have played Eminent Domain, Legendary, and Castle of Burgundy, which I already mentioned with my socks. And when I played Race for the Galaxy, I was knitting on this. So the inspiration pieces, that made me really happy. And with Legendary, we played a game of people that we hadn't played with yet, and that was fun because there were a couple of the characters, Elsa Bloodstone and Magic, who I hadn't played with yet, and I really liked their abilities, so I'm looking forward to playing with them again. I really do need to get some new dividers made for the newer sets that we have, the newer expansions we have in the boxes, because it's getting a little disorderly that the newest 3 expansions are not labeled. So, that was my board gaming. Is there something else I was going to tell you about? I thought there was. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping now. Let's hope that goes away. So, for now watching, I am watching Person of Interest with Eric. That has been our, when my back is too sore to sit downstairs, we've been sitting upstairs and watching that. I've been watching Grey's Anatomy. I have really just kind of been zooming through it. The episodes that I'm watching are still episodes that I had seen before. We just finally got Journeyman. Kevin McKidd, who played Journeyman on that, he played a character on the show Journeyman, and so that's what we insist on calling him still. So I'm on whatever season Kevin McKidd started on. Maybe 4? Anyhow, I am enjoying watching those. I got to the end of my row and had to knit front and back. Sometimes that's tricky at the end of a row with 1 stitch left. For Fanciful Chatter, I've been playing with colors. I have had several compliments lately from strangers or people that I happen to see in places I go. People that I don't really know, but I see them regularly enough that we say hello and that kind of thing. So I've had several compliments lately about how colorful I am and that makes people happy, and I love that. I've been playing with color on my makeup and on my clothes. It's just great. For Book of Cooking, I bought a giant pile of cavatappi noodles. They're like the ribbed macaroni, but they're spiral, like ringlets. They look very similar to my curls, and they are my favorite type of pasta. So I made mac and cheese with Kerrygold Dubliner cheese, which is delicious, and the cavatappi noodles, and that just elevates mac and cheese so nicely. And then scrambles. It's so easy to just saute up some veggies when they look nice and toasty and delicious. Put some veggie meat in it. Just have been using Morningstar veggie patties because my husband's a vegetarian. And then at the end, to add some eggs on top. It's just some eggs that I've scrambled up a touch in a bowl and pour that on top, and then scramble that whole thing up like I was scrambling eggs. It comes out really nice. Add some cheese at the end, and it made a really nice veggie meal last night with lots of zucchinis and peppers. So that's one of my favorite tricks to do on an easy night. And then I made Alton Brown's biscuits, southern biscuits, to go with it because I like that recipe for biscuits. So I just did a really easy rectangular batch of biscuits that it didn't need to be too fussy. What else do I have? Happiness continues. My yoga teacher who you guys have heard me talk about because she's so inspiring. She said a lot of times she gets in the path of thinking about things in her life that need to be changed. I can relate to that too. I can see things that I need to improve or I need to adjust, and those are a little easier to pull out of my head than thinking about good things. So she had us take a piece of paper and write something in our life that was really good. Identify something, and it kind of goes along with what my gratitude journal was last month, that I did for Lent. And so something that I am really grateful for is good friends. People who really listen, really share, just that I can be authentically me. And that is a big blessing in my life. So think about something that is really good in your life, something that is just a positive, and then cherish that. And so when she shares these kind of mindset thoughts, and then I sit there doing yoga, it's easy to come back to those positive things, not just while I'm in class, but throughout the day, throughout the week. And so I love to share that with you guys. All right. I think that's everything for today. So I am going to bid you farewell. Do I have anything else exciting coming up? It is my birthday month, and so I'm thinking about things that I'll be doing and the hand knits that I'd like to wash and have them ready to wear. I've got a couple things that I've worn a couple times now. I don't always wash my hand knit tops every time I wear them, because often I'm wearing something underneath. But I have a couple that are ready for washing, so I need to go through the process of that so that I have all of the options open to me to wear my very favorite things this month. And so I am glad for thinking of happy things like that, ways that I can celebrate being almost 40. Okay, so you can connect with me on the internet. I am Christine with a K on Ravelry. I am KDLB, just the letters, on Instagram. You can find the Yarnings podcast group on Ravelry, where we have discussions for every episode, and the show notes with links to everything that I talk about are on yarningspodcast.com. All smooshed together. Okie dokie, until next time, that's the story. Bye.